Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, February 28th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some MLB baseball. Man, it's been a long time coming. It's spring training. We're about a month away from the regular season, but I figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of take a sneak peek on the Seattle Mariners. We're planning on doing about 150 plus games out of the 162, and we got a good one here tonight, the Seattle Mariners versus the San Diego Padres. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's go over the starting lineups. And this definitely took me a lot of prep, considering, we have all these new players on new teams, but I hope you guys appreciate all the hard work that has gone in, and hopefully we end up having a victorious Friday night. All right, baby. And on the thumb, on the left, that will be starting the game on the mound in this spring training matchup, Brian Woo! Could be the year of the woo. And on the right, one of the studs, one of the best baseball players on planet Earth, Fernando Tatis Jr. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first. And obviously not all of the starters are going to be playing, like on opening day. There's going to be a few guys that have the day off, or we may see them DH or come into the game a little bit later. So this isn't going to be, staying true to what we have on opening day. But again, we get to see at least some of the starters and some of the young guys develop. Leading off for the Mariners in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, newly acquired from the Padres. He doesn't got any Mariner photos yet. Third baseman, Donovan Solano. Batting third, DHing for the Mariners, the best catcher in baseball, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Batting fifth, the newly acquired first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. And he kind of, fits that mold of Mike Ford and Carlos Santana and, Jared Vogelback. A little bit thicker, of a player, at first base or DH, but I'm definitely excited to see what Rowdy Tellez can do for us this year. Batting sixth, newly acquired from the Cubs, second baseman, Miles Mastrobuoni. Batting seventh, catcher, Nick Raposo. Batting eighth, shortstop, Cole Emerson. And he is one of the top guys in the farm system. Don't be surprised if he ends up being our starting shortstop, even over J.P. Crawford or Dylan Moore at some point in the season. Shortstop, second base, obviously Cole Young and Colt Emerson is the future. Definitely excited to see what Colt can bring here today. And batting ninth, center fielder, Samad Taylor. And on the mound for the Mariners today, at least for an inning or two, I would assume, Brian Woo! Let's go, baby. I am ready. And now let's get into the starting lineup for the San Diego Padres. Now, their lineup is pretty close to what they're going to actually have on day one. So this might be not that fair, but we'll see how it goes. Leading off for the Padres, their starter, first baseman, the best pure hitter in baseball today, Luis Arraez. Batting second, playing right field, Fernando Tatis Jr. Batting third, playing center field, Jackson Merrill. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Manny Machado. Batting fifth, playing second base, Jake Cronenworth. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Batting seventh, the newly acquired from the Houston Astros. He's been around a little bit of everywhere. You've seen him on the Dodgers. You've seen him on the Braves. Now he's on the Padres. Left fielder, Jason Hayward. Batting eighth, DHing for you know who, the Padres, the former Royal and Astro, Yuli Gurriel. And batting ninth, the former Astro catcher, Martin Maldonado. And on the mound for the Padres, Braden Nutt. All right, let me get all situated here. So give me 1 second. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in the donos. Let's do it. And it definitely, was kind of a reminder on how much prep really has to, happen with a baseball stream with starting lineups. And obviously, I'm not going to have photos of, on hand of every single player, on the bench for the Mariners and the Padres, especially in spring training. They're going to have a lot of players. They're going to be coming in, for the starters, and then the backup players are going to come in, and the backups are going to come in. So I'll do my best to be able to sprinkle in, some photos of the backups and the backup of the backups. But we'll see how it goes. But hopefully we end up having a good matchup here this evening. And this is the first Mariner spring training game that we were able to do, and the first spring training game in the evening for the Mariners as well. Now I'm just trying to find the best way to be able to do this. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, Rosarina singled to center right out of the gates. Let's go. STL in the building. What's good? Randy Rosarina singles on a sharp line drive to center fielder Jackson Merrill. Let's go. Nice job, Randy. STL with a $5. Appreciate you. He's a Tigers win. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang. Appreciate you. $5 holla. 95 to go. Appreciate you very, very much. Donovan Solano strikes out on a foul tip with 1 out. And I'm just trying to get everything situated here with my screens because I got so many of them up here. So give me 1 second. But I figured it would be something kind of nice to be able to do a little different. But Randy Rosarina singles on a sharp line drive to Jackson Merrill. And obviously the newly acquired Donovan Solano, not really the biggest individual, to bring in, but we'll take it. Solano strikes out on a foul tip, 1 out. Next up will be big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. One ball and 2 strikes to Cal Raleigh. Next pitch fouled off with a curveball. Let's go, Cal. Ohtani did. Nice. Cal Raleigh strikes out swinging, 2 away. Come on, Cal. Let's go, big dumper. And again, no Julio Rodriguez, which is a little unfortunate, but again, we definitely get to, see some of the young guys like Colt Emerson. I'm definitely, wanting to be able to see what he can do. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Mitch Haniger. First pitch called strike on a curveball there from net. 0-1 count with 2 away. On deck is Tellez. Kind of cool that we have Rowdy Tellez. Swinging strike on a 4-seam fastball there. Behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Haniger. Let's go. Let me know what you want to do for photos, STL, and I got you. It kind of plays into that same, that one is fouled up back for a 4-seam fastball behind in the count 0-2. But, that Jared Vogelback, Carlos Santana, Mike Ford, where you get a little bit of a thicker player, at first base or DH. And, to get Rowdy at, this stage of his career, we obviously know that, he's got the power. Obviously batting average might, suffer a little bit, might be, closer to 200 rather than 300, but definitely can go yard and, can still hit, from time to time. So we'll see if he can end up making a difference on the Mariners with whatever playing time that he earns with the team. Mitch Haniger called out on strikes, and that is going to be the end of the top of the first inning. Next up here for the Padres, due up first baseman, the best pure hitter in baseball, Luis Arraez. Batting second for the Padres, right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. And batting third, center fielder Jackson Merrill. And I feel like if you look at their lineup, it's pretty much like a starting lineup from opening day. So we only have like half of our starters playing today and then some prospects. So I don't really know how, obviously no Julio, no Victor Robles. There's a lot of guys that aren't playing here today. Obviously Solano is a starter, Randy's a starter, Cal's a starter, Mitch from time to time. But if you really look at it, we got like 3 guys that are going to be playing probably regular ball. And then you got Haniger, Tellez, Mastroboni, Raposo, Emerson, that is on the up and up, and then Samad Taylor. But, I don't really know how we're going to be able to compete, but we'll see. Hopefully that we will. And on the mound for the Mariners, it's our stud, Brian Woo. I feel it's going to be the year of the Woo as well as the year of Bryce Miller. Four-seam fastball there. Fouled off. 0-1 count to Luis Ariz. Second pitch called strike. Behind in the count 0-2 to Luis. Woo is awesome. I like Bryce Miller a lot too. He gained a little bit more velocity. Third pitch there outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Brian Woo to Luis Ariz. But, he was, around that, maybe 93 to 94 mile an hour. And he's been able to get it up here in spring training to about 97, 98. So you don't really see a lot of pitchers, going to over 100 on a consistent basis anymore like you used to in the 80s and 90s. But I'm really hoping that Miller and Woo, can get to the point where, they're really contesting and contending with Gilbert and Kirby. And then there can be a debate that, who is our best pitcher, and that could be a friendly debate. Obviously George Kirby will get the love. He's kind of like the Greg Maddux of the team, right? And then Luis Ariz reaches on a fielding error by Colt Emerson. Not a good look for the up-and-coming young stud. Come on, my guy. But again, I feel like, Brian Woo and Bryce Miller have the heater. They give you that heat. And again, if you want a Greg Maddux, that's going to obviously be someone that doesn't give you heat, but it has definitely good control. And obviously he's going to pitch in locations and is a location pitcher. That's very, very good. That's George Kirby. And then you get Logan Gilbert, who does a little bit of everything, a little bit of heat, a little bit of location, doesn't really flash a lot, but he just does everything really, really well. He's a good, solid pitcher. And then obviously Castillo is the guy that we have to worry about being our worst pitcher in the starting lineup. But still, with that being said, Castillo at the 5. How many pitchers have a pitcher as good as Castillo at the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Some teams don't have a guy like that. So, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. 2-1 count. Here to Fernando Tatis Jr. Swinging strike there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fernando Tatis flies out to center field. Samad Taylor, 1 away. Captain in the building. What's good? Next up is Jackson Merrill. And it's a pretty solid starting lineup here for the Padres. And, it's spring training, but it's just nice to be able to get some baseball in. Pitches outside with a sweeper, 1-0 count to Jackson Merrill. We're in the bottom of the first. 1 away, runner at first. Luis Ariz reaches on a fielding error by shortstop Colt Emerson, and that's really the main individual that I'm looking at right now. You want to look at the Cole Youngs, the Colt Emersons, the Harry Fords, and the Lazaro Montes. Those are going to be the 4 big farm system guys that should all be coming up within a year or two. We probably will have 2 of those 4 come up this year, and then the other 2 maybe next year. But you never know. It could end up being all 4 guys come up this year at some point or another. Just depending on how guys like Dylan Moore, JP Crawford, as well as Jorge Polanco do at short, second, and third base. So we definitely have some room to improve at short, second, and third base. And then as long as Luke Raley, can stay healthy, that might be our guy at first. Merrill grounds into a force out. Second baseman Miles Mastrobuoni. The shortstop Colt Emerson. Luis Ariz out at second. Jackson Merrill the first, 2 away. What's going on, Captain? Next up is Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts flies out to left fielder Randy Arozarena, and that is the end of the first inning, and we're knotted up here at 0. Daniel in the building. What's good? Next up for the Mariners, due up here in the top of the second. First baseman today, Rowdy Tellez. I actually like that signing. Batting second this inning in the 6 hole, second baseman Miles Mastrobuoni. And again, there wasn't really a whole lot of new additions besides Rowdy, Miles, and Donovan Solano. We'll see how it all works out. The Mariner organization is very cheap, but maybe we can overachieve. And then batting third, newly acquired catcher Nick Raposo. Hold on, Paisley. Paisley wants out. Rowdy Tellez grounds out to second baseman Jake Cronenworth. The Crone zone to first baseman Luis Ariz, 1 away. Yes, appreciate you, STL. All right, give me a minute here and I'll be able to get that for you. I'm bouncing around from a few different screens here. Next up is Miles Mastrobuoni. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the second. Mariners 3-5, Padres 3-4 here in spring training. First evening night game for the Mariners, so we'll see how it goes here today. Miles Mastrobroni grounds out to Braden Nett to shortstop Xander Bogaerts to first baseman Luis Arise, 2 away. Next up, newly acquired catcher, backup catcher of the backup catcher of the backup catcher, Nick Raposo. So we only really have like 3 individuals, out of our starting 9 that are probably regular everyday players. And the Padres have almost their whole team. It almost looks like a regular opening day lineup. So not really sure how this will play out, but hopefully we can compete. And you never know. Maybe some of the young guys that come in can help us, get a few more guys over, and we can manufacture some hits and runs here today. Swinging strike there. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nett to Raposo. Curveball, changeup there by Braden Nett. Yeah, very happy that baseball, we're still waiting for regular season, but we got a batter timeout. And we'll get your Aaron Nolas loaded up here in just a moment. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Raposo singles on a ground ball to third baseman E.I. Rosario. We'll take that. I don't think anyone expected anything out of Nick there. We'll take it. And this was the player, even though he had a little bugaboo on defense there early on in the previous inning. Colt Emerson is one of the best players, in the farm system overall, and he's got a very good chance to replace J.P. Crawford at some point or another. Again, you have Cole Young, Colt Emerson. Those guys are going to be playing second base and shortstop. Then you obviously have Harry Ford that can be a catcher with Cal, when Cal has a day off or when he DHs like he does today. And then you got Lazaro Montes, who can end up playing in the outfield for whatever reason. If Victor Robles needs a breather or Randy Arozarena in left or right, you could always have a guy like that when the time is right. So I'm definitely excited to be able to see some of these infield guys, as well as getting guys that, can play outfield, even though our outfield is pretty stacked with Randy Arozarena in left, Julio in center, and Victor Robles in right. 3-0 count from Nett to Emerson. Let's go, Colt. On deck is Samad Taylor, and in the hole, Randy Arozarena. Top of the second, 0-0 with 2 outs. Called strike on a 4-seam fastball there, even though that was high out of the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike. I will say this, nothing really, I don't really feel uncomfortable ever, doing any stream of any sport. But definitely when you don't do something for a few months, and then you have to get back into that mode. It's a little awkward, at first, since we've been doing a lot of hockey and basketball and wrestling and whatnot. Colt Emerson walks, Raposo to second. But I'm definitely excited about it, and I thought, this would be a nice kind of warm-up as we get a little bit closer to the regular season, which is about a month away. So now we have a mound visit by Braden Nett, as well as the teammates and the coaches there. And again, my plan is to do, like last year, 150 plus of the 162 regular season games. And the only reason that we would miss 10 to 12 games is if, we had like a NASCAR race on at the same time on a Sunday, or if they had, just a day where, whatever, something else is, coming up, whether it's WWE, NASCAR, or whatever. But I'm definitely going to be putting in a lot of effort and a lot of grind, like I always do for the Mariners this season. Samad Taylor now up next. Let's see what Samad can do. Ended up having a home run a few days back. See if he can continue that hot streak here in the 9-hole, filling in for Julio. Slider outside. 1-0 count to Samad. 4-seam fastball fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike from Nett to Samad Taylor. four-seam fastball is in play, high in the zone. There we go, baby. Samad Taylor singles on a ground ball to center fielder Jackson Merrill. Nick Raposo scores. Colt Emerson to third. Samad Taylor to second. 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. You never know when, someone will be an unsung hero. They have a strong lineup. Our lineup has maybe 3 starters. They have, 8 or 9 starters playing. So I like that. 1-0 Mariners. That's my boy. Hell yeah. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Already 1 for 1. Let's make it 2 for 2, baby. I like that. And you have a few minutes. You're not going anywhere any time in the next few minutes, STL, right? I got to be able to finish this inning here, and I'll get the Aaron Nola situated here for you. Hell yeah, 1-0 Mariners. I like that. Now, having it put on the chain or, the do-rag and whatnot, pick-off attempt at second base. Called strike on that sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. I'll get the photos up for you here in just a second. We're almost out of this inning, it seems like. Sinker there, outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Braden Nett to Randy Arozarena. And if you're just tuning in, Samad Taylor singles on a ground ball to center fielder Jackson Merrill. Nick Raposo scores. Colt Emerson to third and Samad Taylor to second. Wasn't really expecting a whole lot. Was just hoping that Emerson would play well. Again, we haven't got a chance to see a whole lot of Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montes, or Harry Ford. But this season, we have been able to see those guys in spring training here and there. So it's kind of nice to be able to see, what our future has to hold, since we're refusing to buy anybody and bring anybody in, spend that money through the ownership. So we have to pray that farm system guys pan out and we don't trade them away. Randy Arozarena, he grounds out to the pitcher, and that is the end of the top of the second inning. Arozarena grounds out to pitcher Braden Nett to first baseman Luis Arise, and that is 1-2-3. But we take a 1-0 lead, and I'll take that, baby. All right, let's see if I can get you this Aaron Nola. Give me 1 sec here. I remembered last time it was kind of tough to be able to find ones that would format, like, for whatever reason. I should be able to find at least 1 or 2, I think. I don't know about how sharp the photos are going to be. They're the dimensions. It's not going to be probably like some HD 4K. Some of them are going to be a little faded out and whatnot. But let's see if we can find something that is a little sharper than that last one, because this is too blurry for my standard. Let's see if we can find something better. There we go. You got to find something that has at least some decent fucking resolution here. And see if I can get you at least one more good one here. All right, we got a defensive substitution. Appreciate you. At least those ones turned out good. We're at 5:95 to go. Next up is Jake Cronenworth. Defensive substitution Spencer Packard replaces left fielder Randy Arozarena. So we're already, going through, we only had really like 3 starters playing, and now goes one of them down. So we have a lead, but we'll see how long we'll be able to have the lead with all these backups. But now you got Jake Cronenworth in the box. Let's go Brian Wu. Hopefully we'll have him probably for only a little bit longer. I don't assume that we're going to have him, like a standard 6 innings. Usually if you watch spring training, a lot of the starters only play like an inning, sometimes even just like, half of an inning. We'll see how it all goes up. Sometimes 2 innings, but we'll see where it goes. 2-1 count to Jake Cronenworth. On deck is Yuri Gurriel. In the hole is Jason Hayward. Sweeper, and a 4-seam fastball with the 2-1 count from Wu to Cronenworth. The Crone zone. Cronenworth flies out to center. Fielder Samad Taylor, 1 away. Next up for the Padres, shortstop Xander Bogaerts. 1-0 Mariners. First pitch is a foul ball with the slider there. 0-1 count from Wu to Yuri Gurriel. Yuli. A 1 pitch with a sweeper with another ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Gurriel. Yuli Gurriel grounds out. Third baseman Donovan Solano to first baseman Rowdy Tellez, 2 away. Next up, the former Brave, Dodger, Astro, and now Padre. I mean, he goes everywhere, where the teams are good. Left fielder Jason Hayward. And I wish I had more photos of each player that is on their new team. But again, sometimes, when it's early on, even in the first couple weeks of the season, sometimes there's limited photos, of some of the newly acquired pieces for our favorite teams. Megan in the building. How are you? 1-0 Mariners here in the bottom of the second. We got a mound visit here for Brian Wu. And Cal is not catching, so game plan is going to be a little bit different here today. Pitching change, Luis F. Castillo replaces Brian Wu. Well, that was short-lived. But again, spring training, so it's not the regular Luis Castillo that we have another guy named Luis Castillo that we brought in, so. But I'll take it. We have a 1-0 lead, and hopefully we can continue this pace that we're at so far. Let's see what this Luis F. Castillo can do for us. First pitch there for Luis F. Castillo. Sinker. And a little low, 1-0 count. Sinker again, a little low and outside, 2-0 count. Come on, Luis F. Castillo, what do you got for me? Next pitch fouled off with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jason Hayward. We're at 5:95 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 11. Let's get 9 more to get to 20 to get into the algorithm, baby. Called strike on a sinker on that 4th pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Luis F. Castillo, not the regular Luis Castillo, against Jason Hayward. Change up, low and out of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Castillo. And Jason Hayward strikes out swinging. We'll take that. There we go, baby. End of the 2nd inning, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. It was a little short-lived for Brian Wu. I was hoping for a little bit longer, but, I know, how things are typically going to go. Let's see who's up next here in the top of the 3rd for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, former Padre, 0 for 1 with a K, 3rd baseman Donovan Solano. Batting 2nd, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing Cal Raleigh. And batting 3rd, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Let's go Mariners. Blazers putting the beat down on the Nets, and that's what we would have done if I wasn't doing this. They're up 84-68 against Brooklyn on the road. Let's go. I got to be able to see real quick what do we got for points. Is Shea lighting it up? Tumani's got 15, Murray 11, Anthony Simons 14, Shea 19. Let's go. Scoot with 5 off the bench. Let's go, baby. I like that. Big dumper, baby. Then we got WWE Elimination Chamber tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific. It's going to be awesome. I mean, we assume that John Cena will win. They've been advertising, him on the posters, and we figured that, he was going to either win Royal Rumble, and if not the Royal Rumble, since Jey Uso won, that more than likely he's going to win Elimination Chamber and, get a chance to try to finish his career off in his last year a particular way. All right, we have a pitching change. Adrian Morejon coming in, replacing a Braden Nett. But I'm looking forward to the, NASCAR Cup Series race on Sunday. Even if it ends up being like a road course, I don't mind those. You have super speedway, short tracks, or road courses. Nothing really, I don't really have a favorite compared to one to the other. So we'll see what kind of action we get on Sunday. And then we got WWE Elimination Chamber. So I'm very excited. If I can get wrestling, pay-per-view, PLE, and NASCAR on a weekend, my weekend is set. So it should be very, very good. First pitch, 4-seam fastball, out of the zone, 1-0 count. Donovan Solano fouls off that pitch right in the zone down the middle with the sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is high and out of the zone. Fouls off the next pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Morejon to Donovan Solano, the former Padre. Work the count, baby. Solano singles on a sharp line drive to left fielder Jason Hayward. Let's go. I think that we didn't really know what we were going to be getting out of Donovan Solano, but I mean, if he can get hits and he can be productive for us on offense and defense, that might end up being an underrated signing for us. I mean, it was probably the biggest name that we brought in besides him, Miles Mastrobuoni from the Cubs, and then Rowdy Tellez. It's, nothing really too epic, compared to like the big signings of like, the big names like Juan Soto. I mean, of course, we're never going to have anybody like that, but, we'll see how it all turns out. And so far, so good. I like what I see out of Donovan Solano, even though it is spring training. He's doing it against his former team. Keep doing it, baby. Next up, big dumper, the best catcher in baseball, Cal Raleigh. First pitch is a ball outside with the sinker, 1-0 count. 1-0 count. Next pitch, a four-seam fastball in the zone, fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike for my guy, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Yeah, I hope Chase wins at the Road of Americas. Obviously, last week, wasn't really the greatest outcome, going back to his hometown state there in Georgia, for that Atlanta race. And hopefully it'll be more like the beginning of the year, rather than what we saw last week. Kind of rough for him at Daytona and last week there in Atlanta, but hopefully we'll get back on track like he did in, the very beginning of the season. Four-seam fastball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Four-seam fastball right there on the zone. Crushed that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the top of the third, 1-0 Mariners. Third quarter, 84-70 Blazers. So far, so good here. Two-two pitch. Cal Raleigh called out on strikes. Damn it. 1 away. It's okay, Cal. Still love you. Still my favorite. Next up, for the Mariners, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Slider, called a strike. 0-1 count from Morjon to Haniger. Swinging strike there in the zone on a slider, behind in the count 0-2. On deck is Rowdy Tellez, and in the hole is Miles Mastrobuoni. Sinker fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Top of the third, 1-0 Mariners with 1 away. Runner at first. Donovan Solano, the former Padre, and an 0-2 count from Morjon to Haniger. Sinker fouled off. Count remains 0-2. 0-2 pitch with the splitter. Fouled off. Count remains still no balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Haniger. Pitches outside. Good eye with that sinker there from Haniger. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Morjon to Haniger. Pitches way outside, way inside, actually, excuse me. Four-seam fastball almost gets him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good vision there from Mitch Haniger. Slider, sinker, splitter, sinker, four-seam fastball. So obviously we're seeing Morjon give you a little bit of everything. Next pitch, it's in play. It's a slider in the zone. Let's see what happens here. Haniger grounds and do a double play, of course. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts, the second baseman Jake Cronenworth, the first baseman Luis Arraez, and then Solano out at second, Haniger out at first, and that is the end of the top of the third. Damn it. And that typically happens, for the Mariners from time to time when we end up hitting into double plays, but you just hope that you don't do it in spring training that often. We're going to the bottom of the third now with the Mariners up 1-0. Let's see who's up next for the Padres. they're already making some substitutions here. We got Rosario, Maldonado, and then Luis Ariz. Yeah, double plays. I mean, every team does it often, but it just seems like, when it happens to the Mariners, it happens frequently, right? It's not one of those things that happens like once a game. I mean, it feels like sometimes, it'll happen like in one inning and then you think, okay, fine. And then you're like, it's not going to happen again. And then it happens in the next inning. And then you're like, okay, it can't happen again, can it? And then it happens again. It's like, sometimes we'll end up having double plays, and it'll go over and over again, but hopefully that'll be the only one that we have here today. But I can't complain. We're up 1-0. We only had really 3 starters out of 9. They had like 8 starters out of 9. They pretty much had an opening day roster today. We had just a spring training lineup, and we're up 1-0, so I'll take it. And we got Luis F. Castillo, not our regular Luis Castillo in. And Igay Rosario doubles on a sharp fly ball to center fielder Samad Taylor. Igay Rosario. I know it's crazy. We're already getting into March. Nice double there from Rosario. I see you. Next up is catcher Martin Maldonado. Rosario's on second. First pitch. Slider, called strike, 0-1 count. Next pitch, a sinker. A little low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Sinker called the strike there in the zone, right on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you had a batter timeout. Next pitch is a slider that is fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Mariners. Castillo with a slider there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low and inside. Martin Maldonado strikes out swinging. 1 away. We'll take that. Next up for the Padres, 0-for-1 first baseman Luis Ariz. The best pure hitter in baseball today. The modern day Ichiro Suzuki. Doesn't matter where he plays. Wherever he goes, he's going to bat 300, 350, 400 if you give him enough time. Change up. That is in play. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Luis Ariz strikes again. And we have a 1-1 game. Fuck, I knew it. I mean, when you got a guy that's that good, and again, if Rosario already ended up at second with the double, it was just a matter of time, before someone was going to knock somebody in. Nice job by Ariz. And we have a 1-1 game with an RBI knock there. Arise single to center. Rosario scores 1-1. Judah in the building. What's good? How are you? Just trying to keep up with the Blazer game against the Nets. Next up is Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis grounds into a double play. Shortstop Colt Emerson is there to second baseman Miles Mastrobuoni to first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Luis Arise out at second. Tatis out at first. Bang, bang, bang. We get a double play on our end, and then we give it right back to the Padres in the next inning. Yeah, baby. That's what I like. I don't like them tying the game up, but I'll take a double play after, we ended up having one ourselves. And we'll take that. Haniger grounded out into a double play just early on, and then now Tatis grounds into a double play. We were talking about it, but again, Luis Arise does the damage. He does the damn thing, and we have a 1-1 game. End of the third, and we're knotted up at 1. This game is flying by. Like I said, I knew the game was going to go by pretty quick, but usually baseball games are about 2 hours and 30 minutes now. Sometimes as early as 2 hours. 2 hours and 10, 15 minutes, depending on, if guys are hitting or not and whatnot. But I mean, obviously before all the rule changes, we were having baseball games 3, 4, 5 hours. So, I wanted to be able to switch it up a little bit, and again, I'm glad that we're not getting our ass kicked. I'm glad it's not like 5-0 right now. So let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, first baseman, the former Pirate, Rowdy Tellez. And we have a pitching change. Yuki Matsui replaces Adrian Morjon. Batting second, the former Cubs, second baseman, Miles Mastrobuoni. And batting third, catcher, Nick Raposo. He's 1 for 1 with a run, believe it or not. And he's the backup to the backup to the backup at catcher. Yeah, like I said, I'm planning on doing a lot. Like I'm going to try to do every day, except for, we'll have NASCAR Cup Series races on Sunday, and I'm going to try to do as many as I can with that. But obviously Mariners are going to take priority. NASCAR will take priority. WWE is going to take priority, which means probably a little bit less Blazers, a little bit less NBA, a little bit less Kraken, and a little less NHL once we get into the baseball season. Not saying that we're not going to do any NBA or any NHL, but once baseball's in full swing, it'll be baseball, NASCAR, and WWE at priority. And then, the backups will be NBA and NHL from time to time, if we have like a day off or a weird time of a game. So we're in the top of the fourth, 1-1. Rowdy Tellez flies out sharply to center fielder Jackson Merrill. 1 away. Next up is Miles Mastrobuoni. First pitch to Mastrobuoni, a four-seam fastball in the zone, called a strike. 0-1 count from Matsui to Mastrobuoni. Yeah, well, if there's 162 games in a season, I'm going to do 150 plus. I'm going to do a lot. So, like I said, that's the goal, to pretty much do it every day. Mastrobuoni grounds out, second baseman Jake Cronenworth to first baseman Luis Arise, 2 away. But, if there's 162 games in a season, I want to do 150, plus of the regular season, and then hopefully a couple games in the playoffs if we can make it. So, not a lot of people are going to have that kind of grind, to do that many games unless you are established and, you have a favorite team and you're willing to put in that work. 2 away. Top of the fourth, 1-1, Mariners and Padres. First pitch, four-seam fastball. 1-0 count from Matsui to Raposo, who is 1 for 1. Let's see if he can make it 2 for 2. Yeah, so we're not going to be doing 60 or 80 or 90. We're doing a lot more than that. 162 games. I'm doing 150. And that was what we did last year as well. So, even if I were to do a third of the games, even if I were to do like 60, that would be amazing. But I'm putting in that work. Four-seam fastball, a little high in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Splitter coming in. Swinging strike there. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Matsui. And Raposo strikes out swinging. And that is 1, 2, 3 away. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th. We're knotted up at 1. Let's see who's up next here for the Padres. Next up for the Padres, 0 for 1, center fielder Jackson Merrill. Next up after that, looks like they made some changes in the lineup. Shortstop, 0 for 1, Xander Bogaerts. And batting third, second baseman Jake Cronenworth. We'll see if they end up mixing up the lineup. Looks like they're kind of going back and forth with some of their guys. We'll see what happens here. Pitching change, Gabe Spire coming in for Luis F. Castillo. We're in the bottom of the 4th, knotted up at 1. Gabe Spire going to Jackson Merrill. O2 count. Let's go, Gabe. Wu is out already. You know, this is spring training, so. And again, unfortunately, MLB.com, a lot of people thought it was going to be on there, and a lot of the streaming links are not working, but I got one that is. Popped up. One away. Next up is Xander Bogaerts. And I know a lot of people were wanting to be able to watch, the matchup, but for whatever reason, because a lot of times you'll get streaming links that will promote it, but then when the game comes on, then it errors out and whatnot. So, 0-1 pitch. Spire in there for a strike. One ball and 2 strikes. Xander, back to the wall. There we go. Bogarts flies out to right to Mitch Haniger, 2 away. But it's pretty crazy. Like thank you. I appreciate that. Paisley will appreciate that very much. Sarah with a $5. But I went through, for other people that want to, kind of be able to watch. And I went through like maybe 10 or 12, and only one works, out of like 12. So obviously something's going on based on, where the game is being televised in your part of the country and whatnot. But, I think a lot of people were anticipating this being the late game, that this would be easy to watch, but just because a streaming link shows a game doesn't mean it's going to be on, unfortunately. And you got to dig sometimes. Popped up. And Cronenworth flies out to Samad Taylor. And again, sometimes you have to improvise and whatnot. Like early on, sometimes, I got to be able to, call a game just based off MLB.com and seeing the animations on the screen. Sometimes you can't just rely on searching for a link. Sometimes you just got to work. And then, in between innings, see what they have. And hopefully you can find something that sticks. So. But I'll be honest, in those first couple innings, a lot of the links were dead, unfortunately. So, all right, we're in the end of the 4th inning, 1-1, Mariners and Padres. Appreciate you, Sarah. What would you like to do for your photo or photos? You want something Cardinals? Sarah with a $5. We're at 10, 90 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. Mason Wynn, great choice. I'm stoked that just baseball is, back. It's not like, the NHL and the NBA. Those won't carry people over to a certain degree, but, I love me some wrestling. I love NASCAR season when football is over. And I absolutely love when we can get back into full swing with the MLB. I love it. Not just the Mariners, but everyone. I love MLB baseball. And I love it that there's games on every day pretty much. So it's like, you don't have to wonder, what do I do tomorrow or the next day? It's pretty much like every day you're grinding. So appreciate you, Mason Wynn. Hopefully he has a breakout year. And we got a pitching change. We got Jose Espada coming in for Yuki Matsui. And then we got a bunch of defensive subs as well. Connor Joe coming in for Luis Arise. Oscar Gonzalez coming in for Fernando Tatis Jr. Forrest Wall coming in for center fielder Jackson Merrill. Mason McCoy coming in for Xander Bogaerts. And Cobb Hightower coming in for Jake Cronenworth. Ethan Salas replacing a Martin Maldonado. That's a mouthful. They pretty much took out their whole team now when they tied it up 1-1. 1-0 pitch from Espada. Two balls and no strikes. Ball 4 to Emerson. Let's go, baby. I love Emerson. Good eyes, baby. Let's go, Colt. It's a sweet baseball name. Just like Cole Young, Harry Ford, Lazaro Montez. Nice job, Colt. All right, baby. We're in the top of the 5th. Next up, center fielder filling in for Julio Rodriguez today, Samad Taylor. Let's go, Samad. Colt Emerson tried to steal second, and he got caught. He got. Damn it. Good tag by Hightower. We were trying to be aggressive there to move the runner over, but that was just a great throw. And Colt is young. He's a farm system guy. He made a little bit of a mistake early on defense in the beginning of the game. He had good speed right there, but, that's what happens sometimes. Samad Taylor bunts, grounds out softly. And that's 2 away. Come on, Taylor. Well, you got Bregman, so that's nice. And you already have some solid pieces there. Taylor with a decent bunt attempt. Now, if that was Victor Robles, maybe we were safe, but we'll take it. And next up is Packard. And again, now we're going to start seeing a lot of the backups, coming in. But at least we got, pretty much a few innings for the Mariner guys, and we still have some of the guys still in. And they just took out a good chunk of their starters for the Padres just, a couple minutes ago. So we're more than halfway through the matchup, and it's 1-1. It's competitive, and that's what I was hoping for. Let's see what Packard can do here. Fouls it back. 0-1 count. I'm glad I finally actually got a link to work. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, am I going to have to call this whole game just on animation on MLB.com? And again, Sarah knows, in the past where, you ended up having a link that goes dead. And normally when a link goes dead, it's towards like maybe the end of the game or in the middle, but not usually at the very beginning. And sometimes you got to improvise for like a half inning or an inning until the link, comes back up. Depending on what you're watching it on, through your cable provider, a streaming link, or MLB.com or whatever. But I'm happy that at least one out of like the 12 or 13 that I was kind of going through finally ended up getting a good signal. It's not, as sharp of a picture that I would like, like HD and whatnot, but I can't complain. It's like you either have the game and you can see it and you can hear it and you can watch it, or you have nothing. So. And Spencer Packard walks. Okay, we'll take that. Next up is Donovan Solano. And I think Solano, he'll probably end up being the best addition that we ended up making. Out of all the players, we didn't really make a whole lot of moves. But again, Donovan Solano, former Padre, Miles Mastroboni. I think Rowdy Tellez will probably be the most popular, just because he's like a Mike Ford, a Carlos Santana, a Jared Vogelback. He's a little bit thicker, for like a first baseman DH, but it plays into what we like as far as first baseman and DH kind of guys. And hopefully, he'll get some good playing time for us. Top of the fifth, 1-1 game, 2 outs, 0-1 count to Donovan Solano. Packard at first. Wild swing there, behind in the count 0-2. Every dollar counts, Sarah, and I appreciate that. Paisley definitely, being able to take care of food, which usually runs me about $80 a month, not including bones or treats and other things. And, just paying for the internet bill and continuing to grind and, do this dream full time. So every dollar counts. I appreciate it. That one is fouled off. Espada on the mound. Solano 1 for 2 today. Top of the fifth, 1-1 Mariners and Padres. Espada with the 0-2 pitch. Chopper. And if anyone wants a link to this game to actually watch with me, again, just message me on socials, and then I can send the link to you. And I like Riz, he usually does the radio stuff, but I feel like a lot of baseball teams don't really have the greatest announced teams. But luckily the Mariners, again, even though we ended up losing Sims and they ended up taking Blowers out of the equation, we'll see how Jay Buhner does and, what we end up having, but again, I think Riz does a great job. With radio, he could definitely be the play-by-play main guy. But again, we have someone that is young, that does a fantastic job as our lead. And again, to be able to have a quality radio guy that does play-by-play and a quality play-by-play TV guy as well, it's special. 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is inside. And Hightower has it. And that is the end of the top of the fifth. Let's see who's up next here for the Padres. Next up for the Padres, 0-1, DHing Yuli Gurriel. Up after him, 0-1 with a K, left fielder Jason Hayward. And batting third, Igor Rosario. Let's see if I can get that Igor Rosario photo. I know I had that up here earlier. There it is. See if I can find a better photo than that. There we go. Much better. That's too blurry for me. That's not up to our standard. We need something better. There we go. I hate blurry, I hate stuff that doesn't look good. I want to make sure everything is HD, 4K, and it looks sharp. Well, it's spring training, so, Wu didn't pitch very long. He was only in there. I thought he might only pitch one inning, but he was in there for two, so. But we didn't have any Ks. But normally, if he, if this is regular season, I assume this might be the year of the Woo. And same thing with Bryce Miller. They're going to be very good. All right, bottom of the fifth, we got Trent Thornton in now for the Mariners. Pitch is inside. 1-0 count to Yuli Gurriel. Pitch in the zone, but not called a strike. That's unfortunate. 2-0 count. All right, we need 9 more likes to be able to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Now we need 7. 7 more. Little chopper towards third. Get his ass. And he fumbled the bag. Motherfuck. 7 more likes to get to 20. Let's get there. Fucking error. Luis Suisbel. I mean, the guy is never going to play for us anyways, but, that's not helping his cause. All right, next up is Jason Hayward. Maybe we can end up getting a double play here. A 1 pitch from Thornton to Hayward. 1 ball and 1 strike. We got WWE Elimination Chamber tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. Excited about that. And Yuli Gurriel reached on a fielding error by third baseman Luis Suisbel. Now you got Hayward there in the box. One-two pitch. Hayward crushes it towards first base. Foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I assume the Blazers are still maintaining their dominance against the Brooklyn Nets. And they're up 117-91 with 4 minutes to go. Let's go, Rip City. Hell yeah. Hayward, all the way into right field. 1 away. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I when I go to Petco, usually I splurge on the more expensive stuff because it lasts longer. Like if you end up getting like a $5 bone, it's only going to last like a couple days to a week. But if you get a $15 or $20 bone, it might last a month or two. And like the Benny bones. So I like getting Paisley those, if I can afford it at the time. And then, depending on, some of the ropes and other things, every dog breed or cat breed is going to be a little bit different on how aggressive they are, with their toys or bones and whatnot. But I've noticed that, if you do spend the extra, for the quality stuff, it will last a hell of a lot longer. I'll never buy a $1 to $5 bone ever again, especially when those Benny bones really last. Big swing and a miss for Rosario from Thornton. We're in the bottom of the fifth, knotted up at 1 with 1 out, runner at first. Let's go Mariners, let's go. Throw to first. Rowdy Tellez there at first. See if Thornton can compose himself here. Chopper, right past Thornton, gets it, throws to first. Throw is high, and got him to Rowdy Tellez. 2 away. Okay. Nice job by Trent Thornton. I'll take that. Nice job, Trent. I didn't know if he was going to be able to make that play on those. Anytime you get a ground ball back to the pitcher, you don't really know if they're going to be able to find a way to get it to first. I like Rowdy Tellez at first. I mean, that definitely reminds me of, the Jared Vogelback, Mike Ford. I mean, they all have that same type of body frame and shape, and they all can hit for power, but not necessarily for average. But good defense there, and a good combo from Thornton and Tellez to get that out. Bottom of the fifth, 1-1. Thornton to Salas now. Ethan Salas. 2024 season, he was at Single A Fort Wayne. We have a man on second here. 1-0 pitch is grounded towards first. 1 ball and 1 strike. I know time flies. Yeah, Paisley, as we get into late summer into August, Paisley's going to be 4. It's wild. Time flies. Big swing and a miss from Salas. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go, Thornton. Two pitch. Missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the fifth, 1-1 Mariners and Padres. 2 outs, 3-2 count, runner at second. Let's go Thornton. Three-two pitch. And chop foul. Count remains full, 3-2. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need 7 more to be able to get to 20 to hit that algorithm. Let's get there, baby. 3-2 pitch by Thornton. Right to Emerson, and that is the end of the inning. Nice job by Emerson. 1-1 game, 4 hits for the Mariners, 2 for the Padres, but the Mariners have 2 errors, but it hasn't hurt us completely just yet. All right, see who's up next here for the Mariners. Let's go. Cal's still in the game. Fuck yeah. All right. Next up, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Mitch Haniger. And batting third, first baseman today, 0 for 2, Rowdy Tellez. Okay, here we go. This is a good opportunity for us to be able to maybe manufacture something to take the lead. Let's go. and we're at 10, 90 to go. Game is flying by, isn't it? I mean, again, I had to kind of improvise there for a little bit, trying to search for, a link that actually would work, or, something that wasn't going to end up, buffering and, but a lot of the links are dead for this particular matchup. But obviously when we go to the regular season, that won't be the case. Let's go, M's. Stormbum in the building. What's good? First baseball stream of 2025. And I know it's spring training, but again, my options were, doing a Blazer game, which I knew they would beat the Brooklyn Nets. And, I want to make sure I get a few spring training games in, to kind of get into the groove of things. I mean, I don't think it really takes me that long, but when you end up doing basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, NASCAR, there's not very many people that can do that. And you have to be very well versed, on all the terminology, all the new updates, all the new players that have, gone to new teams and whatnot. And again, I have been following spring training pretty heavily. And we'll see what happens here. We got a pitching change. Nunez coming in. Oh, and we have Cole Young is pitch hitting. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I didn't know if we were going to get him in the game. Let's go, Cole. I love Colt Emerson, and I love Cole Young. I did not know if we were going to see him here. I was hoping that we would see Colt and Cole, and again, Harry Ford has gotten a little bit of time, and then Lazaro Montes. But anytime you can get those guys that are drafted very, very high, and, the farm system is number one in MLB for the Mariners. And we were in the top 5 last year. Now we're number 1 overall. So we got, 7, 8 guys, but 4 of them could get called up this year. But realistically, probably 1 or 2, and then 1 or 2 the following year. But it's exciting because Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montes, and Harry Ford could all start at some point, or, just be on the main roster sooner than later. So I can't wait. And especially with issues with maybe JP Crawford, Dylan Moore, and especially Jorge Polanco at third, we're going to be looking at some of these farm guys to replace some of the guys that we have on the roster now if they play better. But again, they're incredibly young. So top of the 6th, 1-1 Mariners and Padres. I'm getting one of my wishes here to see Cole Young. Let's see if he can get on base. 1-2 count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye there. What's good, bro? And then hopefully I'll be able to see Lazaro Montes and Harry Ford at some point in another spring training game if they get a chance to play. But when you get guys that are incredibly young, it's going to take time, whether it's single A, double A, high A, triple A. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye by Young. Nunez, 3-2 pitch. Chopper towards first. Pitcher has to cover first and gets there just in time. Young is out. But I like how he worked that count there, and I just want to get those guys experience. So that way, when the time is right, we can call them up. But those, again, they'll be the 4 main guys that everyone should be keeping an eye out for. Colt Emerson, Cole Young, Lazaro Montes, and Harry Ford. All right, next up is Mitch Haniger. Let's see if Mitch can do something for us. Oh for 2 with a K for Mitch. Maybe he can be the hero. Haniger, pitches low, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch to Nunez to Haniger. Come on, Mitch. Big swing and a miss. Got a little foul tip on that. 1 ball and 1 strike. Going to Peoria would be great for autographs, especially if you lived in that particular area. I had a buddy that lived over there for a few years, but I never got a chance to visit him while he lived there, and then he moved to Dallas. So that's where he lives now, in Texas. But he lived in Arizona there near Peoria for quite a while. Wish I was able to visit him and go to a spring training game. I definitely would have tried to get some autos while I was there. That one chopped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're at the top of the 6th. 1-1. Mariners and Padres. We're in spring training, but it's been fun. It's been competitive. Couple errors, by the Mariners, but we're trying to find a way, to still stay competitive. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mitch Haniger from Nunez. 7 more likes to 20. Captain's got the likes. Hopefully we can get a few more there. And we're at 10:90 to go on the Dono train. 2-2 pitch from Nunez to Haniger. Haniger crushes it. Oh, and it drops in between the center fielder and right fielder. Go, go, go. Go, Mitch. Hell yeah. Stand-up double by Mitch Haniger. Let's go. Nice job, Mitch. Next up, first baseman today, 0 for 2 from the Pirates, Rowdy Tellez. Screwball. Nice, my brother. Let's go, Rowdy. One-0 count from Nunez to Tellez. Trying to throw a pitch in there before Rowdy was ready. Crowd chanting, Rowdy, Rowdy. Takes a fastball strike there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, he definitely, when you look at him, he looks just like a Mike Ford or like a Jared Vogelback. I like big lefties like that too. Maybe Rowdy will be our DH. There's a chance. There'll be a few guys battling it out for that spot. We don't expect him to be, really being an everyday player defensively. But if he can get his hitting up, maybe that'll be our DH at some point. I wouldn't be, as long as he produces, I don't mind. But I remember in the past when we played the Pirates, he would fuck us up. So anytime you can get a player, that did damage to you in the past and they join your team, it's always nice if he produces. Nunez to Tellez. Tellez crushes that one, but it gets caught up in the wind. 2 away. It's okay, Rowdy. I still like you. Cool that we even have a Mariner photo of you already. But he hit a home run recently, so that's why the photo's there. And next up, second baseman Miles Mastrobuoni, the former Cub, and hopefully we'll get some more photos of him moving forward. But that was the best that I could find for the time being. Now, when you have a starting pitcher, you're not going to be able to put a pitcher in after they've already pitched. So, yeah, I don't know what kind of betting that you had going on. But, no case for Woo. Usually in spring training, guys are only going to pitch an inning or 2. But once a starting pitcher has pitched, you don't go back in. It doesn't work like that. Once they pitch, their night is done. Top of the 6th, 1-1 Mariners and Padres with 2 outs. 1-0 count with a runner at second. Nunez to Miles Mastrobuoni, the former Chicago Cub. Pitches outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Come on, Mariners. I know it's spring training, but I want wins. Takes a strike looking. 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, it's all about evaluating talent, and that's why, I like watching, preseason and anything. You just want to be able to see, like, who's looking good. And again, if you end up being very hot in spring training, you might be able to carry that over, to the, regular season if you're able to be on the roster. Pitch is low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Mastroboni, one of the new additions here for the Mariners. I feel that's more like a rumor, that they circulated on the internet. That's been out for the last couple weeks, but, I've seen them kick out people, and whatnot, but I think that is more kind of a fake news, just because you wear a Luka jersey, you're not going to get kicked out. Now, if you end up, saying fire Nico and you get on the Jumbotron and you're making a ruckus, then they have been booting people out, but I got a mound visit here. But just for wearing the jersey, they're not going to boot you out. That's just a bunch of fake news. Two on and 2 out in the top of the 6th. Raposo is in the box. Misses inside, 1-0 count. We'll see what Nick Raposo can do. He's 1 for 2 today with a K and a run. And mound visit here to see if they can figure out how to get Nick out. Another new addition for the Mariners. Quite a few of those. Yeah, but again, sometimes, it's better for players to go. Luka will have more success in LA, just like, some of these other individuals that used to be Mavericks that are having more success on, teams now, like Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. Can you imagine if he was still on the Mavericks? We wouldn't even know how good he was able to get, because he would be, probably on the bench or not even playing. Or if he was playing, he probably wouldn't be able to produce the same kind of way. So, sometimes it's good to be able to, leave a location that has not very good culture and, go somewhere else where you can make a name for yourself. And Brunson has definitely done that for the Knicks after leaving Dallas. So. Nunez to Raposo, top of the 6th, 1-1, 2 outs and 2 on at first and second. 1-1 pitch from Nunez. Pitch is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Big swing and a miss there from Raposo. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mariners. Find a way here. Top of the 6th, 1-1, 2 outs, 2 on. Pitch is high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Take this walk if it's there. Let's go, M's. We definitely can win this. Runners are going. Pitch is outside, and he walked him. Hell yeah. Here we go. Bases loaded for my guy, Colt Emerson. Here we go. We got to see Cole Young, right? But he wasn't able to do anything. He just got in. But Colt Emerson got a chance to start, and he's got an opportunity. He had an error, and again, anytime you end up, having plays where you have an error or, you hit into a double play or, you're not as effective as you want to be. Now you have an opportunity to do something special. 2 base on balls. And we'll see what we get here. First pitch, swings for the moon, and it goes foul. Bases loaded here for the Mariners. Come on, Colt. Let's go. One of my favorites in the farm system. And again, this is like the first year where you're able to kind of actually see these players play with the other Mariners starters. Like, we haven't really got a chance to see, Cole Young, Cole Emerson, Harry Ford, or Lazaro Montes play with any of the starters. It's pretty much they've been, in development. And this is finally the year where we're actually getting to see them kind of get sprinkled in with some of the starters, and it's awesome. We've been waiting for a few years now. Popped up to center field, and as long as he doesn't drop it, it should be an out, and he gets it. We leave him stranded, but again, that happens. But again, I love being able to see some of these Mariner players get a chance, and that is the end of the top of the sixth. We'll see who is up next. We have Wall, Gonzalez, and Connor Joe coming in here for the Padres. Wish he was able to get an RBI, or, I wouldn't expect him to hit a grand slam right there, but, you always want to root, for the guys that, obviously have a chance to end up being a part of your organization day in and day out. And it's going to take time for Cole, Harry Ford, and Lazaro, Montes to get going. But when they do, again, that's when the team could be at, maybe the best that, that we have to offer at that point. So, but I'm glad the game is close, and I figured it would be. Shout out to the Blazers. Let's go, baby. 121-102, beating the Nets. I love that. Now look at the stat line here real quick. Look at the box score. I imagine Shea tore it up. Okay, Tumani Kamara, 19. Murray, 11. Klingon, 12. Anthony Simons, 14. Banton, 23 off the bench. Scoot, 12 off the bench. And leading scorer for the Blazers, my guy, Shaden Sharp, 25, 4, and 5. Nice job, Shay. Hell yeah. I like that. Now I got a Blazer win on a Friday night. Now I need a Mariner win. Obviously, this being the first Mariner broadcast for spring training here in 2025. And I probably will do a couple more, before we get into the regular season. We only got about a month away, but as long as the links work, I'll definitely try to do at least one or two more, if the games are available. They got Taylor Saucedo in. We know how bad Taylor has been in the last couple years. I know he's a Northwest guy, but hopefully he is better this year than he was last year. But I got no faith in Sauce. Too much sauce. Got no faith in you. First pitch. And a chopper. Throw to first. One away. Connor Joe up next. Blazers win again, man. It's nice to be able to see, Again, I don't expect every single one of the teams that I root for to be great, but I just want to see effort, and the difference between the Blazers and the Kraken is like night and day. So I'm glad that the Blazers are able to, find a way. I think the Blazers are going to get into the, the 10 seed, the 9 seed, or the 8 seed. I really do. If they keep playing like this, they can get into the play-in, and all you got to do is be in the top 10. Normally it's, top 8 makes it, but they've extended, these other two teams for like a play-in opportunity. So we'll see how it goes. You don't really know how things would have gone with Wentz. Again, he might have been able, to get that Super Bowl, while he was healthy, and we got a grounder right up the middle. But there's no guarantee that even if they would have won the Super Bowl, that he would have been good after that. He could have easily gotten injured, or they could have moved him. So, it's not like he really showed that he could play after the injury. He's been kind of shitty ever since the injury. He had that, that one magical year, and now he's just a perennial backup. And speaking of backups and bench guys and guys that underachieve, I see your favorite player, Embiid, is out for the year with his knee. Get rid of him. Waste of space. Mason McCoy in the box. Saucedo on the mound. Bottom of the sixth, 1-1 Mariners and Padres with 2 outs, 1-0 count with a runner at first. Sauce throws to first. But especially with Wemby being out for the rest of the year and whatnot, like I think the Blazers, if they keep playing well, there's a chance that they could get the 8, 9, or 10 seed. I don't expect them to do anything, but it would be cool to, do some playoff games of the Blazers, even if they get smashed. But like just to, play shitty at the beginning of the year, get hot within the last month and a half, 2 months, and then find a way to get close to 41-41, which to some people that's garbage. I get it. I know. It's not like we're the Thunder or anything, but, considering how bad we were and then how we dug ourselves in a hole, we're trying to dig ourselves out. And I like the way that the Blazers have been playing lately. They're fun to watch. They got a fun young team, and Shaedon Sharpe had the dunk of the fucking century. Pitches outside by Sauce. 2-0 count. Nah, I wouldn't burn the Embiid jersey. I mean, if you paid money for it, unless we have like the apocalypse or the end of the world, then you might have to use it for toilet paper, or burn it for warmth. But I think at this point, I wouldn't be burning anything Embiid. I mean, that's hard-earned quality money that you spent on a jersey. So 3-0 count from Sauce. Come on, Sauce, you're terrible. I agree, Judah. Well, you already, I think you already know what Embiid is. I mean, he's only played half of his games in his career. So if you're thinking that at some point that he is just going to be able to be healthy and play 82 games for the rest of his career, it's not going to happen. He's going to be this injury-prone, brittle guy that when he's healthy, he might be able to put up 20, 30, 40, 50 points and get you 25 and 20 or 25 and 15. But again, he's going to miss a lot of time. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be healthy on a regular basis. And, for a guy that if he was healthy, maybe, he'd be closer to being like borderline Hall of Fame type of player. But now with, pretty much missing half of the games in his career, he's got 0% chance of making the Hall of Fame. I mean, he could be considered a pretty good center when healthy, one of the best centers when healthy, but he just isn't fucking healthy. Pitches inside, almost hits the batter there. And Sauce with a walk. What's new? Yeah, but Charles Barkley is one of the best players of all time. I mean, everyone sees him on TNT, but if you go back and watch footage of him at Auburn and at the Sixers and then in the Suns, back when I was growing up, the guy was a monster. A lot of people like Karl Malone. Barkley was a little undersized, but, Barkley was a small forward, but could play with the power forwards and, very dominant. Could shoot threes, jumpers, one-on-one, good on the fast break, good passer. Barkley, again, everyone sees him as this kind of like, chubbier, retired guy now. But if you go back and look at Barkley in his prime, he was, he's a top 50 player of all time, Embiid, not so much. Yeah, Barkley was ridiculous. Big swing and a miss, and Sauce gets it out of the inning. There we go. I was very shocked. I didn't think Sauce was going to get us out of there, but he does. There we go. Next up for the Mariners, Knight, Packard, and Suisbell. So I don't really know with a lot of these guys now. It's going to be tough for us to be able to manufacture hits and runs, I assume. But end of the sixth inning, we're knotted up at 1. No, Wu pitched early for the first 2 innings, and then they, spring training, you're never going to have guys pitch, like a normal start, like in the regular season. They're not going to pitch 6 innings. They're not even going to pitch, 3 or 4 innings. Usually it's like 1 inning, and if you're lucky, maybe 2, and that's it. So he didn't get any Ks, but they didn't really give him a lot of time to kind of get going. So he pitched 1.2 innings, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 0 Ks. So. But he did start the game. Yeah, that's the best thing that the NBA has going for it, is that show with Ernie and Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaq, and Charles. Yeah, but just because you don't have a ring doesn't mean shit. You can still be a legend and a GOAT. I mean, Karl Malone and John Stockton don't have rings, but that doesn't mean that they're not legends and icons. You know, John Stockton was an amazing point guard. Karl Malone was an amazing power forward. You know, and that's what happens. You know, it's like the Tom Brady, Michael Jordan effect. You know, if you end up going against someone that might be one of the greatest of all time, and you're playing at the same time as that player, you know, a lot of people are going to get left out, right? The Bulls beat the Lakers and Magic, right, in 91. Then they beat the Blazers in 92, prevented us winning a championship. Then, obviously, in 93, prevented Charles Barkley and the Suns, right? And then, you know, moving forward, obviously preventing, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp and Detlef Schrempf in 96. So it's like, you know, and then obviously preventing the Jazz, you know, in 97 and 98. So we got to think there was a lot of people, the Blazers and Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley and the Suns, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp and Detlef Schrempf on the Sonics, Karl Malone and John Stockton on the Jazz. A lot of people, you know, were, you know, good enough to win at least one ring. But when you're going against, you know, Jordan, it didn't happen. Just like Tom Brady, you know, and Peyton Manning, they made it tough for anyone else to, you know, have a championship. Throw to first, one away. You think Barkley's better than Karl Malone? Karl has more numbers. But they're both up there. You know, they're both, you know, top 50 players of all time. I think Charles Barkley might have been more likable than Karl Malone, you know, unless you were a Jazz guy and whatnot. You know, obviously both guys would throw bows and, you know, be a little dirty when they needed to be, when the game actually let you be a little bit more physical instead of like all the flopping with like LeBron and whatnot. Top of the seventh, 1-1 Mariners and Padres. 1 out, 1-1 count to Packard. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. One pitch from Haynes to Packard. Pitch is inside. 3-1 count. One out and nobody on. 3-1 pitch. Chop foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Haynes to Packard. Did they give him the strike 3 right there? Uh-oh. Previous pitch has been challenged. Do I watch All the Smoke? What's All the Smoke? When I think of All the Smoke, I think of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, or like Cheech and Chong. What is All the Smoke? Sixers got 3 championships. But again, you're young, Captain. If you're like 20 years old, I mean, again, a lot of the stuff, you know, like Blazers have a championship, even though it doesn't look like, you know, we've been relevant. But, you know, we won in 77. That was before I was born and whatnot. But 55, 67, and the main one was 83 with Julius Erving and Moses Malone. So the other 2, they had different names, you know, like back in the day. So the first came under the previous name, the Syracuse Nationals in 55. Then the second title came with 67 and Wilt Chamberlain. And then the one that everyone recognizes based off the Philadelphia 76er name was the one in 83. Your boy knows. Stand with Ukraine. Oh, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. I think that might have come up on my timeline, but those guys aren't worth my time. Most of these guys that end up doing podcasts and whatnot, not worth my time, unfortunately. I mean, I don't really watch any shows. I mean, I used to watch, Good Morning Football, Pat McAfee show. Those were really the only shows that were quality and worth watching. I don't watch, Get Up or any of these shows that they argue about dumb things. Those are just a complete waste of time. I mean, you could actually probably get better information, off YouTube channels rather than anything that's on TV and podcast. And even the Pat McAfee show and Good Morning Football has gone down in quality in the last couple of years. But again, it all depends on what you like to watch. Chop foul on an 0-2 count to Cole Young. Let's go, baby. We can see a little bit of Colt Emerson, and now we have Cole Young in there. Love these guys, and hopefully we'll see what he can do here. Haynes on the mound. Cole Young in the box, DHing. 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch. Foul tip. Count remains 0-2. Runner at first with 2 outs. And we're definitely, in the mix here. I mean, if the NBA product overall was better, overall, then, maybe that would be something that, but again, I don't really watch, baseball, basketball, football, hockey podcasts. I have too much time that I have to spend reading and doing film study on all the teams and all the players. I don't have time to watch guys kind of chop it up and, talk about whatever. I imagine some of these podcasts may be entertaining for some, but yeah, it's just not for me. I got too much other things that are on my plate here, doing this channel where I have to keep up on players and stats and video and stat lines and games. So I got to be able to keep up on those things rather than, watch guys just chop it up and whatnot. But if I were to watch a podcast, it would probably be like New Heights or something with like the Kelsey Bros. Like that would be something that if I were to go out of my way to like watch something, it would be like those guys, if I were to watch something, but I don't even watch them. So there we go. Cole Young doubles on a fly ball. Center fielder, Forrest Wall. Spencer Packard scores. Bang! Let's go. 2-1 Mariners. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Fuck yeah, all the way to the wall, and that's what I'm talking about. If we can get Colt Emerson and Cole Young on the main roster, these are things that they can do to help us win. You got J.P. Crawford, who was the leadoff hitter, who's now the 9-hole guy. At some point, he's going to get replaced, by Colt Emerson. And then, Cole Young can replace Dylan Moore at second. So you can have, like, the Colt and the Cole combo at short and second in the near future. Harry Ford can play backup catcher or DH, and then Lazaro Montes can fill in for Victor Robles in right field from time to time. So it's nice to be able to see some of these farm systems because we have the number 1 farm system in MLB. We were top 5 last year, but we're number 1 overall this year, and we got 7 or 8 quality guys, but there's 4 that are top notch, and then the other 4, that have a little bit more time to work on their game. So. Yeah, and I feel that if you look at the lineup, with the guys that we had, we didn't get no Juan Sotos or anything like that. But I think that the Donovan Solano pickup is actually going to be good for us, right? Rowdy Tellez, he might be a little chubby. He's kind of like a Mike Ford or a Jared Vogelback, but he might be able to play first base or DH once in a while and help us hit some home runs. And then we'll see about Miles Mastrobuoni. That might be the biggest question mark, about some of these guys, on what they end up doing. But again, it's really going to be about our main guys, right? Randy Arozarena in left, Julio in center, Victor Robles. The real question marks are going to be at shortstop,
second, and third. Polanco at third is a dumb thing. Why are we doing that? He stinks. He's terrible, right? Garver shouldn't be on the team either. And J.P. Crawford and Dylan Moore aren't good enough to play shortstop and second anymore. We need better players. And that's when you can insert Cole Young and Colt Emerson when they're ready, but they're not ready yet. But at some point, JP is going to get replaced. And I know some people might be upset by that, but, he's kind of, his trajectory is kind of going down. And I think that going from the leadoff hitter to now the 9 hitter, that might be a little bit of an ego hit. Now Victor Robles is the guy. You're not the guy anymore. So I don't know. Hopefully JP Crawford will be mentally strong. Otherwise, he's eventually going to be a backup or not even on our team. Once we have these new guys come up, we've got to get a better third baseman. Why did we ever let Eugenio Suarez leave? And then Rojas, I would have rather had him than fucking Polo at third. That was dumb. So we definitely need a better third baseman. Maybe at the trade deadline we'll get one. I don't know. Nice punch out. But we'll see where it goes. And then first baseman, should be Luke Raley and Tyler Locklear. So I'm not really worried about first base, even though there was all that Pete Alonso talk. Really, the concern is going to be shortstop with JP, second baseman Dylan Moore, and then Jorge Polanco at third. But everyone else, Cal Raleigh, best catcher in baseball, pitching staff, top 3, as far as the rotation goes, right? Well, we've got Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, right? Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby. Enough said, right? Bullpen with Brash, Santos, and Andres Munoz should be healthy. That's money. So really the only weakness that we have is short, second, and third. But we know JP and Dylan Moore, will be able to play in spurts. So really the main problem is Polo at third, unless he's healthy and he plays great. If he plays good this year, that could be the difference between us, winning 80 games to maybe winning 90. And we're going to probably shoot for 90, 90 and 72. And if we get to 90, we might be able to win the AL West over the Rangers and Astros barely, or the A's. But again, if we end up having injuries and we play like shit and we don't make any moves, then we might end up winning somewhere between 85 and 89. And if you win that many games, you might miss the playoffs by a game or two. And that's typically the Mariners' MO. We either make it or we barely miss it. So hopefully we can, stay healthy. We'll see. Why does everyone keep asking if Wu is coming back in the game? Does anyone know how baseball works? Nobody cares about your parlay and the 2 strikeouts. This is spring training. Why are you betting on spring training? You're making everyone in the room dumber. Anna in the building. I mean, I don't know if anyone has ever watched baseball before, but last time I checked, if a pitcher pitches and gets replaced, they don't get in. They play, and then that's it. Why would they come back in the game? They're not allowed to. Somebody needs to look at the rule book. I mean, is this your guys' first time watching baseball? What the hell is going on here? Jesus Christ, making people stupid. 2-1 Mariners. Colin Snyder into the game. Sheets in the box. I mean, shit, if you're asking questions like that, you shouldn't even be watching baseball at all. Popped up, 1 away. Don't test me, David. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Mariners. 1 out, nobody on. Sheets in the box. Snyder on the mound. Pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Anna in the building. How are you? Yeah, but regardless if it's spring training or regular, nobody comes back in the game after they've been taken out. Are we getting that dumb as a society? Is that what we think now? That a pitcher will pitch and then they get pulled in the first or second inning, and then all of a sudden they're going to get back in? What the hell is going on here? Jesus Christ. Oh-2 pitch. Pitch is crushed foul. Count remains 0-2. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to the algorithm. We don't want to get dumber in here. Popped up. 2 away. Let's go, Colin. And anyone that's gambling in fucking spring training, you know, you might have a problem. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're betting on spring training? You might need some counseling if you're betting on spring training. Ridiculous. I mean, if you just want to throw your money into the toilet, then bet on spring training, but you're not going to get the players to play long enough to be able to get the stats that you're betting on. Dungan. Let's go, Colin. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch from Snyder to Dungan. Pitch into the dirt. Good save there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Go Mariners. Clay Dungan lines out to center fielder Bill Knight. There we go. Let's go to the top of the 8th. Windish, Hood, and Charping. Five more likes to be able to get to 20. We're at 15. Let's get there. Now we're at 16. 4 more to go. And we're at goal. 6 hits for the Mariners, 2 errors. But I think the best part is being able to see Cole Young and Colt Emerson play. I've been itching to watch them play for years. And again, they're not going to be, so good that they're going to be on like the opening day roster. But it wouldn't be shocking that if Colt Emerson and Cole Young make the roster this year, and then Harry Ford and Lazaro Montes are right there with them. So again, I can't wait to be able to see those 4 guys get called up. If we're not going to spend the money, to bring in guys like Pete Alonso or the Juan Sotos, then we got to make sure we don't trade, the farm system guys, and then we bring them up, and then we're just going to have to overachieve. Ownership isn't going to help us. And then, we might be able to make some moves at the deadline like we did. But again, last year, Victor Robles was fantastic, and having him, Randy, and Julio for a full season should be amazing for our outfield. So, and then if we have any issues with any injuries, maybe Lazaro Montes will get a chance, and he can always play right field as well. Harry Ford can play backup catcher or DH, and then obviously Cole Young and Colt Emerson, they'll be playing second and short. So, really, the main question mark will be third. Odin in the building. What's good, brother? We got WWE Elimination Chamber tomorrow, 4 o'clock Pacific. We'll live stream that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Then we'll be doing NASCAR Cup Series on Sunday, I believe around 12:30. So WWE on Saturday, NASCAR on Sunday. I'm excited. What's good, Odin? How are you? All right, baby. Top of the 8th. Jones is on the mound. Windish in the box. And I'm really happy that we're not getting absolutely fucking killed out there. I know it's spring training and all, but I had a feeling that if I did this game that we would have a good chance to win. It was either this or the Blazers, and I knew the Blazers were going to beat the Brooklyn Nets, and they did pretty easily. And it's good to be able to get back into the swing of things doing some baseball. Ground ball by Windish. Chops toward third base, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. What's good, my brother from another mother? Pitch is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I have it recorded right now. I'm going to probably try to watch it later tonight. But anytime you end up having a show prior to, a PLE, usually it's pretty tame. You're not going to really have a whole lot of spectacular matches. The show before the PLE. Sometimes you do. Sometimes like the Raw, the NXT, and the SmackDown end up, being like qualifying matches or something, preparing you for the PLE. But sometimes it's kind of like filler content, as we're waiting for, the Elimination Chamber tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. It'll be at 4 o'clock Pacific, and hopefully you guys will be able to come through and hang out with your boy. Pitch is inside from Jones to Hood. 1-0 count. Top of the 8th, 2-1 Mariners. 1 out. 1-0 count to second baseman Hood. Check swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Jacob Fatu, and again, the cool thing about Jacob Fatu also, is like you see the athleticism, with the, obviously the new bloodline and whatnot. You see the skill set that he has, but his mic skills have been getting quite a bit better too, Even though SmackDown might be the worst show out of the 3 right now between Raw and NXT, SmackDown needs to go back to 2 hours, not 3. I feel with 3 hours, you're not putting out a quality show anymore. There's too much filler stuff, and I feel that NXT has been better than SmackDown. And I don't think SmackDown is terrible, but I feel that NXT has surpassed it if you watch all 3. And Raw is definitely the best, But again, with Roman not holding it down for SmackDown anymore, the vibe is a little different. Not to say that Cody is bad or SmackDown is terrible, but I mean, if you actually watch all 3 shows on the regular, SmackDown has suffered being 3 hours, and it's not as good as NXT and Raw week in and week out. It's not bad, but the other 2 are a little bit better, in my opinion. 3-2 pitch from Jones to Charping. Got him. 2 away. Watkins Glen or New Hampshire? Bro, that would be amazing. You have to if you can do it. I mean, that's still my dream, to be able to go. I love the trucks, dude. This year, I've been watching every race, trucks, Xfinity, and NASCAR Cup. Like I'm literally going into like racing. I'm obsessed, dude. Like I can't get enough. And I watch full races too. Popped up. Loses it into the lights, but finds it. And that is the end of the top of the 8th. Now we have Salas, Wall, and Connor Joe here in the bottom of the 8th. But, I think for me, I like NASCAR Cup Series best. Then I like trucks. And then I think Xfinity is last. It's kind of like Xfinity is kind of like SmackDown. It's not bad, but it's not great either compared to NASCAR Cup. And I like the aerodynamics of the trucks when I see them on the course. I feel like when I'm watching trucks race, you're going to get the wrecks and you have a little bit different setups with the trucks. And I think it just looks cool on the track compared to the Xfinity where they have similar cars to the NASCAR Cup, but the skill of the drivers aren't as good. So it's not as intriguing unless you end up having, some of the top guys that go down. And in the trucks race, we ended up having, Kyle Busch. He ended up racing and winning the trucks race there in Atlanta. But, I like being able to watch the Napa truck and, just seeing, what's going on that side. And, every once in a while I would tune in a little, but this year I'm like watching everything. I'm trying to soak in everything. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 Mariners. Yeah, it needs to be. Again, I get it. They think, more time, more matches, more people will be happy. But you have to make sure that the writing, the storyline, and the matches are good. You just can't have that 3rd hour and, for commercials and interviews that are pointless or meaningless. Like it actually has to, be worthwhile, to keep the fans engaged. And, some of us are going to watch no matter what, right? Who cares? Like we're still going to be, involved and whatnot. But Garcia on the mound, Salas in the box. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. How many more do we need to get to 20? We need 3 more. So if you are in the room and haven't done it yet, we only need 3 more to hit the goal. Now we need 2 more. We're at 18. 2 more to go to hit the algorithm. And then what were we at? 10, 90 to go. Let's go. Salas takes a strike. 1-1 count. Bottom of the 8th. Mariners up 2-1. Let's get this dub. We're at 10, 90 to go. Let's go M's. It's been a minute since I've had the Julio jersey on, the chain, the do-rag, the whole outfit and whatnot, but I had a good feeling about this game today. But unfortunately for a lot of fans that wanted to watch this game early on, all the links on the internet were dead. So everyone was looking to try to watch, including myself for a couple innings, and I had to go through like 13 before I found one. Sometimes you got to dig deep, baby. Ethan Salas in the box with a 2-2 count. Which is outside. 3-2 count. Yeah, I mean, however you want to do it. Are you going to be able to watch it with us tomorrow? I mean, if you want to save that dono for tomorrow, you can always do that. I mean, it's up to you on how you want to do it. I mean, I can always put it up for the beginning of the stream tomorrow for the number, but that's up to you, Odin, whatever you want to do. If you want to do it today or tomorrow, and that'll be the first thing that'll be in the message comment, right when we end up having the pre-show. If you want to wait until tomorrow, are you able to watch it with us tomorrow, or are you going to be busy? For that, I mean, you are more inclined to do whatever you feel that's best for yourself and for me. But I was going to say, if you're going to be able to be here tomorrow, I would just probably wait till tomorrow. But if you're not going to be able to be here tomorrow and you would want to do it for today, then, I can obviously put that for tomorrow's numbers. And, we'll see if we end up getting Reefer and a few others. And, we should get a good chance to get goal tomorrow. So, yeah. Yeah, I would say, just wait till tomorrow, and then again, between you and Reefer, if Reefer comes along and a few others, we might be able to hit goal tomorrow, based off the dono train, depending on who shows up for Elimination Chamber. So I'm not a greedy guy. I'm just trying to keep it honest and keep it real. I appreciate any kind of support that I get. And Odin is my brother from another mother. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Mariners. 1-1 count. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Garcia to Wall. I was hoping that you'd be able to watch with us. And I'll definitely hit Reefer up in the morning. Let him know that we're streaming. And, Reefer should be here too. Reefer is always fun. It's always good when you can get people that know, wrestling and have been watching for a long time, and obviously support. Support is always key. Pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Garcia to Wall. Let's go M's. I don't care if we win 2-1. I just want to win this. Wins or wins. I mean, it would have been great if I got a chance to see Harry Ford and Lazaro Montes in this game. But the simple fact that I got Cole Young and Colt Emerson, I'm ecstatic. I've been waiting to watch them play on this Mariner team, even in spring training, for years. So, again, #1 farm system in MLB, and now we're finally getting to see the fruit of our labor on, the drafting and, bringing these guys up slowly. Pitch right down the middle. Got him! Garcia, sit down! Next up is Connor Joe. 1 away. Oh, appreciate you. You're the man. Odin says, hey, I got you today and I got you tomorrow. Dude, you're the man. Thank you so much. Odin's son with a 20 today, and he'll do something tomorrow for us. You're my brother. Thank you so much. Connor Joe. Uh-oh, they got 2 aboard now. Thank you, Odin. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Way to set the example, my guy. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Every dollar counts to be able to pay bills and to take care of my pup. So to pay the internet bill, to pay the streaming service, to pay for dog food, and to make sure Paisley's happy. Thank you so much. We're at 30, 70 to go. Appreciate you very, very much. Pitches inside. Now we got runners at first and second with one out. We need a double play. Stat, Gonzalez in the box. Garcia on the mound. Come on, M's. And being at 30 is a lot better than being at 10, let me tell you. Thank you. 1-0 pitch. Oh, fuck. And that one is crushed foul. I'm just hoping that if I go to a Mariner game on July 4th and it's the Pirates, I get to see Skeens on the mound. Like, I'm trying to get a Skeens Cal Raleigh ball or a Skeens Julio ball. There's going to be a lot of people. And I don't know if, hopefully Skeens will be healthy, doesn't have any injuries, and hopefully it lines up where I get him. But that's the dream. Just trying to, talk it into existence. Garcia. Gonzalez. Chop foul. Brandon Garcia. Come on, Brandon, you motherfucker. This pitcher is going to fucking make us lose this goddamn game. Come on, Garcia. At least pitch like you're like Freddie from back in the day. Wild pitch, and we don't got Cal back there catching either. Jesus Christ. Runners advance to second and third now with one out. Yeah, last 4th of July, I got to see the Orioles, and that was awesome. Anytime you can see, Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rushman, still trying to get my my best friend Justin a ball at some point or another, but I wouldn't mind. It's been a little while since I've gotten one. Last time I got a ball was in Julio's rookie year, and then obviously when Aaron Judge broke the home run record. So it's been a couple years. I'm overdue for another ball, even though I've already gotten like 3 in 9 games, but I need another one. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Mariners, 2 outs, runners at second and third. And I don't like Garcia here. He is wild. This one kind of feels like if they keep him in, if the score is going to be 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, and then we're going to lose. This is the key point of the matchup here. We have to find a way to try to limit the damage here. Pitch is in there in the zone. But outside, 2-0 count. Come on. Here we go. Popped up. Oh, my God. It's a miracle. Oh, my God. In right field. Yes. There we go. End of the 8th, and that could have been disaster. We would have lost the game right there if they would have got a base knock, because it would have been 3-2. We wouldn't have come back. So now we're hanging on. End of the 8th. Let's see if we can get some insurance runs. I don't know if we will. If we can get it to 3-1, that would be great, but we might be able to win this now with 2-1, but that was a little scary. Lopez, Knight, Rambush. Let's go. All right, let's see what we can do here. Give my boy some love. Bray Wyatt, baby. You let me know if there's anything that you want to be able to see. I got you. Excited for Elimination Chamber. I don't really want John Cena to win, though. I feel like the way that wrestling has been, I get it. John Cena is a legend. He's an icon. But for like a part-time wrestler, and I get it, it's like the farewell tour. But I don't really want to give anybody like a freebie. Like, you're John Cena here. I would rather see someone else, if I'm being honest. But again, it's like, who are you going to have John Cena go against? Obviously he's, old. he can't really wrestle the same way that he used to. He's not really the same type of draw. Like, everyone can get excited when they hear the theme music and whatnot, but you can't tell me that people get excited when he wrestles now. It's like watching The Undertaker at the end of his career and anyone else, watching Ric Flair at the end or Shawn Michaels at the end, like, when they're like a shell of themselves. Like, it's cool to still enjoy a wrestler, whether they're male or female at the end of their career. But I just don't want to give someone a gimme, like, okay, you're John Cena here. You win Elimination Chamber because you're John Cena. Like, I don't know. We'll see how it all ends up turning out tomorrow. Top of the ninth, 2-1 Mariners. And I appreciate that, he had an amazing career and, held it down for WWE all those years. But I don't know. I don't want to just see a part-timer. And I would say the same thing for The Rock, if he was in the same position. Like, if this was his farewell tour, I wouldn't want The Rock to get handed, just a belt, just like, here, you're The Rock, here's a belt. Like, I want it to be earned. I don't want to see part-timers, just get the belts and get the love and get the pub. But again, when you are a legend and an icon, sometimes you gotta, pay back to those people, I guess. 1-1 pitch. Chopper towards third. Slow roller. Run it out. Safe. Oh, he's out. No way. Old baseball players. Rupert Jones. I even think, like, people that love John Cena, it's like, when you're a part-time wrestler and you're not really a part of the storyline and whatnot, like, in this Triple H era, you're seeing people earn things. And maybe if it was like the Vince McMahon era, then, it would be, okay, John Cena's going to get it, whatever. But, things have been a little bit different in the Triple H era and whatnot. Chopper towards second, throw to first, 2 away. One more out here for the Mariners. Doesn't look like we're going to get any insurance, and hopefully we can win this 2-1. Cena could have had an instant Mania spot. Yeah, but then people would have bitched and complained. So then it's pretty much, okay, you got to win the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. So in a way, I guess, it's not necessarily maybe earning it, but, things are predetermined before everything, ends up going down. So if they already have John Cena penciled in. Rambush lines out to center. And that's the end of the Mariners here in the top of the ninth. All right, baby. Let's play some good defense here. Rupert Jones. What else do you want to be able to see? You got another wrestler that you want to be able to see based off your dono, Odin? Tell you what, though, I miss this. And they fumbled the bag by not giving him the championship. Yeah, it might have been too scary for the kids, but for us adults, we love this. This was amazing. The creativity from this man, I don't think that we have anybody that's wrestling now that's got the creative mind that he had. Like, he was a one of one, super creative. And I really appreciate those creative type of individuals. And obviously it rubbed off on Bo and the rest. But, like, they kind of dropped the ball with the Wyatt Six as well. It's like, if it doesn't fall into what they think is going to be popular, sometimes they scrap ideas or whatever. They all, everyone has an idea of having wrestling in their own vision. And we know Vince, he hated, factions. He didn't really like small or medium build guys. He liked the big guys, that were roided out. So obviously I like this generation better than the Vince era, but they definitely fucking dropped the ball with Bray. But they probably thought, oh, Bray's going to be alive for a long time, and, we'll eventually give him, the title, but we're going to wait. No one knew that, that he was going to pass the way he did. All right, we got Lau and Hightower here. Bottom of the ninth, last opportunity here for the Padres. Let's get this dub. Surprised that we haven't seen Elliott in the building. Figured he'd drop in and say hello. Yeah, I mean SmackDown, whether you loved him or you hated him, and again, having the belt as long as he did got annoying, But then as soon as he was off TV, what happened? We missed him. Like the presence of not being on TV, and not being able to see him, whether you're rooting for him or rooting against him, rooting for the bloodline or rooting against the bloodline, and everything that they put in. But I think for me, the best part about the whole bloodline was Sami Zayn, in my opinion, not the actual reign of Roman, for having the belt for like a billion years. It was the addition of getting Sami Zayn with the bloodline, so that way you could actually see how good he is on the mic, and getting those guys to break character, and and obviously leading the matches after that. But to me, that was the best part of the bloodline reign, is bringing in Sammy, which was not really a natural fit of that group, and then being able to see what he could do in the ring and on the microphone, and how amazingly talented Sami Zayn is. Facts. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Lau to Sanabria. Ooh, that's a cool one. Let me see if I can send that to Sarah, and I'll pull it up on the screen here. Sanabria, 2-1 count. And I imagine we'll get Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at Mania. Obviously Randy will need an opponent, so. Yeah, I think most people, but you're the type of individual, you appreciate, wrestlers that some people don't appreciate, like War Raiders or Shotzi, and obviously going with the more of the evil and the dark, bloodline with Jacob Fatu. So again, it's like, it's cool. You don't have to necessarily be about the popular, you like what you like. And sometimes like the underdog, and it's cool to be able to root for those, and obviously being able to see what Jacob Fatu has been able to do. They play the more natural heel role, more than what we saw with Jimmy and Jay and Sammy, and obviously with Roman. Nice hit right up the middle. Offensive substitution, pinch runner. I think I could have swore I heard Paisley out the door. Let me see. I could have swore I heard Paisley. Now she's in here. Lay down, honey. Come over here. Dad's almost done. We got to get this dub. Runner goes wild. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Are we losing this game? Yeah, this is a cool photo. Let's see what we got here. I know, Paisley. Daddy's almost done. Oh, what a photo. Fire. I like that. Even if it doesn't fit the full screen, who cares? Looks sweet. Line drive into right field with that runner back to second. There we go. 2 away. We're 1 out away. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, M's. Yeah, you know why Gunther's run has been stale? It's because he can't talk on the microphone. Again, regardless if you're an old school wrestler, that just has like the generic black tights, and we know that he's like a Sheamus and he can deliver grounder, throw to first. Mariners win. Woo! Let's go. But I feel like if you can't talk, on the mic, that's going to be a killer for you. You have to be able to be dominant on the mic. You can have the gold, you can have the belts, right? You know what I mean? But if you can't talk on the mic, you're not going to be fully over. People can reward you, and give you gold, but that doesn't mean the fans are going to like you or appreciate you. And again, the Gunther run has been boring as hell, and then obviously with Jay, regardless if he's doing the yeet movement or not, he's more entertaining. Now, is he a better wrestler overall than Gunther? Some would say no. Overall, to be a solo wrestler, and it kind of depends on your style. Some people like Jay's style and Jimmy's style. Gunther is more of a big man. I get it, and sometimes the big man style is a little boring, depending on who it is, unless it's like The Undertaker or Kevin Nash or something, or someone like Drew McIntyre, who actually does it well. But again, that's the difference between Gunther and Drew McIntyre. Drew is amazing in the ring, right? But also on the mic. Gunther, good in the ring, but terrible on the mic. It's not good. So, yeeting. Game over. 2-1 Mariners. Let's go. All right, Paisley wants dad. But again, let's get some photos up here. Anna loves it. Let's go M's. Let's go M's. Anna loves it. All the way from Mexico. Appreciate you, Anna. We'll be doing a lot of Mariner games this year. What else do you want to do for photos, Odin, before I go? I got to take Paisley on a walk, and I got to eat dinner, spend time with her. But I appreciate you so much for not only donating tonight, but you're going to be helping out tomorrow too. And with you and Reefer's help and hopefully a couple others, we'll be able to hit goal tomorrow and have a great time. So save it for tomorrow. Okay, let's throw this photo back up here so we can at least take a look at it. I wish this was full screen, but who cares? It's not. It's awesome. Love this one. We'll show this one. I'll save this one. We'll show this one tomorrow too. Reefer will love that, as well as a few of the others that aren't here as well. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. And again, I apologize that MLB and some of those streaming links for people that wanted to watch, this game was not available for everyone. But again, 2 runs, 6 hits. We did have 2 errors to their 1 run, 5 hits, but it was fun. We ended up winning the game, got to see some of the young prospects. And again, first baseball game of 2025. Could have done the Blazers, but this was the one I wanted to do, and it was a success. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Sarah and Odin, I know you'll be with me tomorrow for Elimination Chamber. I hope you guys get a good night's sleep. Enjoy everything that you got going on in your life, obviously, tonight and tomorrow morning. And we'll be live probably 3:45, 3:50. I believe we're going to be starting Elimination Chamber for WWE at 4 p.m. Pacific. Not sure if there's going to be any pre-show matches or anything like that, but I'll be ready to go, obviously, an hour before or a half hour before. And then depending on what's going on, I'll pop in and we'll have some great time watching WWE Elimination Chamber tomorrow. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. But you know, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Seattle Mariners 2, San Diego Padres 1, and I'm out. Okay.